Today we have a full body HIIT workout focused on toning and building strength effectively. We'll be doing a classic HIIT structure, repeating a set of exercises 3 times in order to build strength more efficiently. Every exercise is timed, so I want you to focus on quality of movement and listening to my cues over rushing through reps. So wear something comfortable, grab your mat, you don't need any other equipment. Let's start today with standing single leg marches. Exhale to lift that knee all the way up to hip height, turning on our stabilizing glute, our deep core and hip flexors. Try not to use any momentum, so using your core to control. And then starting with your march, we're gonna tuck that same leg back behind you into a curtsy lunge. So bringing that leg back slightly across the body like a curtsy, bending both knees to drop the back knee down onto the floor, and then pressing through your front heel to drive back up. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we drive through that front heel to rise. Okay, so we're using a lot of work here through our stabilizers, through our outer glute, core and hip stabilizers as we lift that knee back up to hip height each time. 10 more seconds here. Let's keep shoulders back, chest proud. Last few seconds here. And then staying back in that curtsy lunge, we're gonna extend that back leg all the way up. The front leg extends as well, but the back leg extends all the way. Can we squeeze through that back quad? Exhale to lift, inhale to tap that knee back down. We're halfway there. We're starting to feel the burn already. Last 5, still getting that full extension through the back leg. Awesome work, and then let's come right back up to our standing position. Feet hip width distance to start, and then let's go right into the other side. So again, starting with the marching, using our hip stabilizers, core to control. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. For 4, 3, 2. And then on this next one, we start it the same way, and then we go back into that curtsy lunge. Can we tap that back knee all the way down on the inhale? Exhale to drive through the front heel to rise. Keeping chest proud, collarbone wide. Finding our balance here. Last 20 seconds. We're doing curtsy lunges instead of regular lunges today because I really want you to find those stabilizers. In a regular lunge, we use our quads and glute max more directly. In curtsy lunges, we're using outer glutes and hip stabilizers a lot more. So those are muscles that help us to balance. Again, stability through the hips, knee and ankle joint, and of course, core to control. And then on this next one, we'll find those pulses at the back, extending that back leg all the way. Can you squeeze through that quad to lift? Inhale to lower, tap the back knee back down. Exhale, rise, inhale, lower. Awesome work. Feeling the heat through the body already, halfway there. Work. We're going to come to a 4-point kneeling position now. We're going to start with the wrist directly underneath the shoulders. Extend one leg straight back, keep the other knee bent. And then on the exhale, press into the toes on the straight leg to lift that bent knee off the mat, hiking through the hips. So we're closing at the hip joint, finding a bit of flexion through the spine. Exhale to lift, inhale to tap that bent knee back down onto the mat. So really using our core and shoulders here. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Awesome. 10 more seconds here, really activating through that core. Again, find a little flexion, so draw your ribs to your hips as we lift the hips up in space. We're gonna layer in a straight leg kick here. So exhale, we start it the same way with our pike, and then we lift that straight leg up towards the ceiling each time in between, activating through that glute. When you lift that straight leg, really point the toes, squeeze through the quad to find length here. Exhale to lift that knee up in the air. Inhale to lower and kick. Last 10 seconds here. Good, keep finding lots of height through that straight leg as we kick back. Last 3 seconds. Awesome work. And then keeping that straight leg up, we're gonna go into our arabesque push-up. So keeping the elbows really close to the body. Inhale, we lower chest to the floor. Exhale, root down into the heels of the hands to rise. Keep that straight leg really strong. So keep activating through that quad, pointing through the toe on your straight leg. So as we lower into that push-up, almost like a pendulum or a teeter-totter, that leg comes up in the air. So it's a bit of extra weight here for our push-up. Last 3 seconds. Awesome work. Let's go over to the other side. So same thing on the other side. We're extending the other leg straight back, starting first with those pikes. So lifting that bent knee off of the mat, scooping the tummy, flexing at the hips to lift nice and high. Exhale to lift, inhale to tap that knee back down onto the mat. Again, waking up through the shoulders and the core here. Good, last 10 seconds. Awesome work, everyone. And let's layer in that straight leg kick. So after you pike and lift that knee up, we drop the knee and then kick the straight leg up towards the sky. Again, can we find a nice straight leg? So pointing the toe, squeezing the quad as you kick. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower the knee and kick. Exhale to lift, inhale, lower the knee and kick. Last 10 seconds. Awesome work, everyone. And then let's go into those arabesque push-ups. So again, work through that straight leg, squeeze the quad, point the toe, inhale, lower chest to the floor, keeping the elbows really close to the sides of the body. We should feel quite a bit of posterior delt and tricep here, which means we need to keep the elbows nice and close. Halfway there. Whew, good job. That's a lot of work. We're gonna end off our last exercise of the first round, lying down on our back, supine. Bring your hands behind your head, elbows wide, letting all of the weight of the head go into the hands, and then find that tailbone tuck, lower back connects to the mat, and we're gonna go into a double leg stretch. I want you to keep the feet flexed the whole time, so you're initiating through the heels as we press out, squeezing through the quads at extension. Can you keep squeezing your feet, knees, and thighs together as we lengthen, turning on through the inner thighs and a bit deeper into the core. Inhale, bend, knee stack over hips. Exhale to extend, almost like you're trying to press something away. Again, initiating with the heels. Awesome. We're here for 60 seconds total, so halfway there now. Awesome work. Almost there. Remember to keep letting the weight of the head go into the hands so we're not holding too much tension at the front of the neck, and we let the core take the load of the head instead of our neck. Good work, everyone. So that's round one. This is a traditional HIIT, so we're going to do those same exercises 3 times over to really build strength quickly and effectively. Okay, so starting with that single leg curtsy lunge, step one leg back and slightly across the body. Again, like a curtsy, we drop that knee back onto the mat, and then exhale, we drive through the front heel to bring that knee back up to hip height. Inhale to lower, exhale, drive through that front heel to lift that knee right back up to hip height. Again, using our core to stabilize. Try to keep the pace controlled and consistent. Awesome work. And then we're going to go into those pulses. So holding your curtsy lunge, exhale, we lift up through that back leg. Can we extend that back leg all the way? So squeezing through your quad at the top. Inhale, lower, tap the knee. Exhale to lift all the way up. Awesome work. Good, we're halfway there. Keeping chest proud, collarbone wide. Whew, awesome work. Let's step back, feet hip width distance apart to start, and then other leg comes back into our curtsy lunge. Inhale, lower. Can we tap that knee all the way down? Exhale, drive into that front heel to rise. Good, keeping chest proud. 2 seconds on this side. Good, and then going into that pulse, bringing that back knee all the way down onto the mat. Exhale to extend the back leg right up. So really focus on the range here and keeping the chest proud, drawing shoulder blades together behind you, crown of the head to the ceiling, halfway there. Awesome work. Let's come back. We're going to go to our 4-point kneeling position to start. So again, starting with those pikes, extend one leg straight back, squeezing through that quad, and then root down into those toes to lift the bent knee up. Again, we're doing a pike, so flexing at the hips, but I want you to think crunching through the front body, drawing ribs to hips, almost think scooping through the torso to turn on through those abs. Inhale to tap the knee down onto the mat, exhale to lift. Good, last 10 seconds here, and then we're gonna add in our kick. Awesome work. Let's layer in that straight leg kick. Exhale to lift and pike. Inhale to lower the knee and kick that straight leg back. Can we point through the toe and squeeze through the quad of the straight leg when we lift? Can we find lots of height in that straight leg? So our glute max is the primary muscle that extends or opens up through the hip. So I really want you to feel that glute max as we open up through the hip, lift the ankle nice and high. Good, last 5 seconds here, and then we'll go into our arabesque push-up. Awesome, and then keep that straight leg lifted. Inhale, we lower chest to the floor, keeping the elbows close to the body. Exhale, root down into the heels of the hands to come all the way back up. Try to keep that hip joint open the whole time. Again, really squeezing through the quad and pointing through the toe on that straight leg. Exhale, rise, 10 more seconds. Good, lots of power here to end off strong. Awesome work, let's even ourselves out. So extending the other leg straight back and we go into that pike. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Halfway there, I know we're getting tired, but can we still lift those hips up nice and high, getting lots of height, bringing that knee away from the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's add in that kick. Exhale, we kick that straight leg up, bringing that ankle nice and high up to the ceiling, pointing through the toe, squeezing through the quad. Awesome work, 20 more seconds. Let's finish off strong with those push-ups. So keep that straight leg up in the air. Inhale, lower your chest to the floor, keeping the elbows nice and close to the sides of the body. Exhale, lots of power as we press into the heels of the hands. Awesome. Do your very best to keep that straight leg up nice and high, at least at hip height. Awesome work. Last 10 seconds here. We've got this. Keep breathing. Inhale to lower. Exhale, root down into the heels. Last 5 seconds. Awesome work, everyone. Whew. Let's finish off round 2 on our backs. So again, weight of the head goes into the hands, elbows come wide, tuck the tailbone under, we flex through the feet, squeeze the feet, knees, and thighs together and extend those legs long to 45. Can we engage through those quads to find full extension in the legs? And again, I really want you to squeeze your feet together so we can feel the inner thighs and then deeper through the core as well. Awesome, we're halfway there. And then we just have one more round after this one. This is a very challenging circuit today. So thank you for sticking with it. We're feeling that burn. Last 5 seconds. Awesome work, everyone. Let's come back up to standing. It's our last round. Starting tall. Let's go right into those curtsy lunges. So again, lifting the knee up first to hip height, and then we cross that leg back and over. Can we bring that knee back down onto the mat each time? Exhale to root down into the front heel to rise. Let's finish this strong. So try not to compromise your form here. Shoulder blades back towards the spine. Keep breathing deeply through it. Whoop, trying to keep the balance. Last 10 seconds here. Awesome work, everyone. And then let's push through those little pulses at the bottom. Again, the goal is to get full extension through that back leg. Inhale, tap the knee. Exhale, lift all the way up, squeezing through that back quad. Last 20 seconds. Just definitely feeling heated. And last one, great work. Let's come back up and other side now. Inhale to lower the knee. Exhale, driving through that front heel. Awesome work. We're almost done with our lunges today. Awesome, and then we're gonna stay down nice and low. Inhale to lower that knee. Exhale to lift up through that back knee, squeezing through your back quad. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Keeping the chest proud, crown of the head to the ceiling. Awesome work, everyone. Last 10 seconds, and then we're done with lunges. Great work. Let's come back to our 4-point kneeling. Wrist stack under shoulders. Again, we're extending one leg straight back. The other knee stays under the hip. And then on the exhale, we root down into the toes on that straight leg to lift up into our pike. I know our abs and shoulders are probably feeling really sore at this point. If you need to, slow it down. So you're doing a couple less reps, but let's finish right to the end of the interval. And we're almost there. And then we're gonna layer in that kick. Straight leg, squeeze the glute at the top. Exhale, we lift that knee up off of the mat. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale to lower and kick. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and kick. 20 more seconds. We've got this. Awesome work, and then keeping that leg up, point the toe, squeeze the quad. Inhale, we lower the chest to the floor. It's okay if your range is not as deep this time. Again, let's try to go right to the very end of the interval though. Keeping chest proud, keeping back of the neck long. Inhale to lower, exhale, root down into the heels of the hands to rise. Awesome. Let's do everything on the other side. So we start with those pikes. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Crunching ribs to hips. Really shorten through the front of the body. Let's finish strong today. Again, guys, this is really not an easy circuit today. These are very challenging exercises. I'm proud of you for making it this far. And let's layer in that kick. Again, exhale, we lift the knee up. Inhale to drop the knee and kick. Take it a bit slower if you need to, but keep going. getting sweaty. Last 3. Awesome work, and then keep that leg long. We go into our arabesque push-ups. Inhale to lower, exhale, press up. We're halfway there. Try to keep the back as flat as possible. Last 5 seconds. Awesome work, everyone. And let's end off with our double leg kick. Again, finding a strong pelvic tilt. We want this to stay in the abs and not the lower back. Flex through the feet, squeeze the knees and the feet together as we extend out. Again, we're here for a minute. Elbows stay wide. Think of drawing your shoulder blades together behind you, weight of the head in the hands. We draw the ribs down and in as we extend those legs long. Last 30 seconds of this workout today. Great job, everybody. Keep pushing through it. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth to extend the legs long. Last 20 seconds. And we are done. Great work, everyone. Let's come up to a seated position and take some nice hip opener stretches. That was a spicy one. Thank you for joining me through that. So coming to a seated stacked log, let's stack our top knee over our bottom ankle and top ankle stacked over bottom knee. So already a deep hip opener. And then let's pull one arm into our chest, just stretching out through our shoulder and back. And then other side. Again, just stretching out through our shoulder and muscles in between the shoulder blades, sitting up nice and tall. And then same thing, but other side. So then stack the other ankle over the other knee over other ankle. And then again, let's find that nice shoulder stretch, sitting up nice and tall. Again, hip opener in our legs, stretching out through our shoulders and back. And other arm. And that's it for your 25-minute full body HIIT. You just crushed 3 rounds. Be so proud of yourself for showing up and putting in the work today. Take a moment to slow your breath, grab some water, and give your body a little love. If you enjoyed this workout, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can train with me for weekly workouts. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.